All right, hello, and welcome to the Long Island weather update. And very, very warm, but pretty sunny day today across the area. Uh, I wish I could have been to the Pine Barrens because we did have a pretty sunny day. There were a few scattered contrails, but it was very warm, and I was exhausted after all I did yesterday. We did start off with some cirrus and a little bit of contrail activity, but other than that, most of the day was clear, just very scattered contrail activity, but really fairly clear day today, but very warm. So let's get to our statistics for the day, and I'll just show you what the sky looked like. This is kind of typical of what the sky looked like. This is sunset. You can see mostly sunny except a little bit of crap from the jets, but other than that, pretty sunny, very warm out, and we have pretty clear night tonight. Actually, it seems like the sky got even clearer toward the evening. You can really see the stars. No meteors though. But anyway, looking at, we'll start with our area first here. You can see they already got a flood watch posted. We'll talk about the storm in a little bit. All right, but first let's talk about the weather today. You can see we're down to 45 at Islip right now, but it was pretty warm throughout the day today. And let's go to our highs here. And you'll see we got into the upper 50s. So 56 was a high at Islip, 57 at Farmingdale, 59 at LaGuardia. And as we go into Jersey, 58 at Central Park. And as we go into Jersey here, 56 at Toms River, and then close to 60 in parts of Jersey and even western Long Island and New York City. So very, very warm today. Way, way warmer than it's supposed to be. Lows, it was pretty cold in the morning, though. West Hampton got down to 19. Islip got down to 32, so 34. So mid-30s generally, low to mid-30s. But, of course, in the Pine Barrens, it did get colder than that. If you were in the city, it was warmer than that with upper 30s for lows. And then New Jersey Pine Barrens, not quite as cold as West Hampton. Yeah, they got down to the mid-20s. So that's what our day looked like today. Very warm day today. We'll go to our statistics here on this site, and you'll see Islip at a high of 56, normal high 45. That's 11 degrees above normal. The low of 32 was only 2 degrees above normal, and that puts us 7 degrees above normal for the day. Central Park hit 58. They were 14 degrees above normal for the high, 9 degrees above normal for the day. It was warm out there. I could have almost not had the jacket. I was walking around and I was kind of hot, which you shouldn't be in December. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. Let's actually, I want to go to the Islip, and I just want to go to the preliminary monthly data, and just because we're halfway through the month, or roughly halfway through the month, so we're going to look and see how much above normal we have been so far this month, and we are 3.2 degrees above normal at Islip. And let's see Central Park here running 3.4 degrees above normal. That's quite a bit above normal. And so that just hasn't been that cold, and we've had a lot of warm days. Again, due to this pattern that we're in. So let's go back to the Weather Service here, and we're going to have a briefing about this coastal storm because, yes, we got another coastal storm. Forecast rainfall amounts have increased. There's a threat for minor to moderate river flooding. And there's a threat for moderate coastal flooding. So we're going to have, I think it's going to be another LLJ event again. And see, these are your hazards right here. And it says here, rainfall 2 to 3 inches likely. Most of this will fall over 12 inches. Widespread minor urban and poor drainage flooding likely. So we're going to have that flash flooding. And the reasonable worst case scenario of moderate to major flooding for a few quick responding rivers, particularly in northeast New Jersey, if greater than 3 inches of rainfall is realized. It's going to be a lot of rain from this, and this is the thing we have to worry about. River flooding in New Jersey could be possible here. And strong winds also possible as well. Peak winds, south to southeast winds of 25 to 35 miles an hour with gusts 45 to 55, highest Long Island, southeastern Connecticut. There could be some power outages from that as well. We're going to have to watch that. And then we have the marine coastal flooding hazards as well. It could be potentially locally major coastal flooding 3 feet above ground for these areas if the storm track is further west. So we're going to have to watch for all this. So we got these hazards, 12 to 16 breaking breaking waves along the ocean front possible. More beach erosion again. So, yeah, another storm again. This December has been, saying I can't remember a worse December. Well, this December, the weather has sucked so much. All these storms, no cold, and not many sunny. We've had it sunny day to day, but overall, we've had a lot of cloudy days. So you can see our hazardous weather outlook issued flood watch in effect for much of New Jersey, and gale watch also in effect as well. So we go out to the map here, and we'll take this out a little further here, and you look at everything on the map, and I'll just take these observations off here. So you have an idea of what we have, the hazards that we have, and you can see these gale watches are up throughout the entire coast here. And then as you go into Florida, as you go into South Coastal, flood watch is in effect. And then as you go into Florida here, we see high surf advisories in effect, and also gale warnings in effect for the Gulf. Nothing tropical being posted yet, and I don't know why, because this thing could have tropical characteristics. You can see wind advisory also. Oh, they said wind advisory is canceled now for New Orleans. Okay, so they're not going to have that for the Louisiana, I guess, but other areas will. So, yeah, we got to deal with this storm. So, looking at the weather map right now, you'll see we have high pressure over us, very weak backdoor cold front. I think this is it right here. It's just going to kind of dissipate over us, I think, this morning into tomorrow morning to tomorrow. Here's your complex of lows, and here's that low that's forming, that's going to join this whole complex of lows right here. So let's look at the weather map, and we'll show you what we have here on the model so far. GFS. So here's your storm. It's going to get. It looks kind of tropical in nature here, almost. Now, if we look at the dew points around this low here, let's look at the dew points around this low. All right, doesn't seem to want to work. That's interesting. Do not tell me we have lost internet. The site's down. Great. Tropical Tidbits is having an issue. All right, here we go. Yeah, it's warm core. You can see it's a warm core. So I don't know why they're not saying it's why they're saying it's not tropical. That I don't know. Now we got to go back to this. So Tropical Tidbits is being very, very slow. It looks like we're gonna have problems tonight. This is the site I use, and if it's like this, it's unusable. I can't use it, so we'll move it along here. So this is your storm here. And you can see it looks like it goes across Florida, and then it goes. And the models have been all over the place with this storm, so that's why they can't. It's further east now, the track. So the storm goes over the Carolinas, and look at how deep it gets. And then the center of it looks like it goes right over us. And again, this would start Sunday night into Monday, and linger into probably at least Monday after. They'll probably wrap up by late Monday afternoon. But look at how tight those isobars are and how deep this low pressure system is, which means a lot of wind and a lot of rain, like a tropical storm again. It's absolutely insane that we're getting this again, and almost a week later from the other one. So it's really nuts. So when we look at the amount of rainfall that's going to be produced by this storm, if we just go ahead and look here on the model here, total accumulated precip, yeah, we're having problems with this model. So apparently, if we go to any other parameters like total accumulated, it's going to be very slow. I don't know what's going on here. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to have to use this site instead. All right. So if we go to the day 3 QPF, or I'd like to see total QPF, but you can see the amount of rain that it could produce here. I'm talking excess of 3 inches possible. So yeah, here you go. This is what it looks like here on the rainfall amount chart here from the GFS. But that's just one model. All right. So yeah, this site's being very slow. So I don't know if we're going to be able to use it. It's really almost unusable. It's like a 5-second delay or something on this site. So I have to use it. And I can't use Pivotal Weather because I think they charge. So let's see the European. So here's the European. We'll back it up. So the European does move the rain in here a little bit sooner, more in the afternoon. So it's a little quicker with the storm. It's really deep, very deep. That's a very deep storm right there. So that's really terrifying, to be honest with you. That's a very deep storm. So a lot of wind. You can see how tight those isobars are. That's a big concern that we have. All right, and like I said, I think it's going to have some tropical characteristics to it. Going back to the GFS, which is actually we can use the 700 to 300 on the European too as well. So you get an idea of how much moisture this thing is going to contain. So you can see the moisture, the tropical connection right there that it's going to have. It will start off tropical, but I think as it moves north, that's when it's going to become extra tropical. But it could still have some mixed, like a hybrid type of system here. Very deep system, too. Very deep. So really a concern here. Well, move this over to the GFS here. It's at very, very slow, the models. I don't know why the site is being so slow right now. We kind of need this site. You can see, yeah, this actually shows up, the moisture feed actually shows up better on the GFS. Look at that. You can see that's coming right from the tropics right there. So that's quite impressive there. Quite an intense storm. So, yeah, this is what we have to keep our eye on. So let's go locally here, and we'll see if I can get some local MODA data. We're not going to be able to, because the site is being so slow right now. We're having a lot of trouble using it, so we may have to switch to another site if that's for the rest of it. But let's go to the HRRR. 0 is the HRRR, and of course, we don't really have a whole lot. It's still not completely in the short-range models, but fair tomorrow, no rain. But you'll see as we get into Sunday, the HRRR moves the rain in after probably 8 o'clock. See, we're not even at the storm yet. But this is the HRRR right here. And you can see, again, that's as far as we've got on the HRRR as far as the storm goes. But let's talk about the weather for the weekend before we get to the storm. So we can get dew points and wind flows tonight. We continue with this light northwest wind becoming north tomorrow, all right, and then becoming east by tomorrow night. And that east wind sets the stage for the storm coming in. You'll see the moisture levels increase. That's as far as we've got on the HRRR here, all right. Looking at temperatures. So temperatures tonight with that wind, I don't know. If the wind dies down, we may get some radiational cooling, but we got a breeze out there, so I'm thinking we'll probably have lows in the 30s. And then tomorrow, just a tad cooler, so maybe low to mid-50s. I don't think we'll see upper 50s on Long Island, but if you're in New Jersey, you might still see some upper 50s, but I think it'll be a tad cooler tomorrow. Tomorrow night, not with that east wind and the not really cooling off much. Probably temperatures will stay around 40 degrees. And then Sunday, temperatures will be similar, low to mid-50s. As the warmer air kind of moves in ahead of this system that we have. We'll take a sounding, I guess. We'll do the soundings and see if we can get them. Again, I don't know why the site's being so slow. We're just going to have to be patient, which is something, of course, I'm not too good at. Let's see. All right, here we go. So there is some moisture level in the atmosphere tomorrow that we have to watch for clouds. We'll have to see. It looks like there's, so move this towards 17Z, probably is going to, just waiting here. This thing is like pitifully slow here. Pitifully slow. It's like I said, it's almost unusable at this point. You can see that they're not quite touching, but there is moisture actually at the lower levels and a little at the higher levels too, which could cause some possible clouds tomorrow. But I'm just going to show you the RGEM model here for the skies, because again, this site's being very slow. I don't know if it's because there's a lot of traffic on this site. I don't know what's going on, but it's like really being slow. But here's the RGEM for tomorrow, and it's really not showing much in the way of these high clouds. We may get lucky and may have a mostly clear day tomorrow. We'll have to see what happens. It could still be a lot of them, or it could be a lot of contrails around. You'll see the clouds come in. Another area of clouds kind of forms offshore, and then Sunday we're definitely having mostly cloudy skies ahead of that storm. So that's all I'm going to get out of this site because it's being very slow. So let's go to Ventu Sky. And we'll visualize the storm a little more. So let's go to the Sunday here. We'll actually go down here where the storm is. So this uses the icon model actually, which is a little different. So I'll show you. So wind speed. All right. So this uses the icon model. Let's switch this. Oh no, it is using the GFS. Okay. So here we are. We are at the GFS model here. This is Sunday. Not really showing too much wind here yet. This is Sunday, all right? You're wondering, where's the storm? I'm wondering that too. I don't even see it on here. Don't even see it. Where is the storm? We're supposed to have a lot of wind. Where is it? Something is not right here. Oh. Oops, I had the wrong day. I'm sorry about that. I knew something wasn't right. I'm like, what? So let's look at Saturday here. This uses the this is partially using the HRRR a little bit, so get an idea here of what we have here. Here's your storm right here, right? I'm gonna put this in wind gusts so you can see the storm right here. So it almost looks like it's got some kind of tropical characteristics to it right here. You can definitely see that. All right. In fact, we'll go to Earth, and we'll look at those water temperature anomalies and see SSTA. Yeah, above normal. It's not crazily above normal, but it's above normal. And then again, look at this El Nino down here. So this is what's fueling a lot of this. This is the El Nino right here. So a lot of that moisture that's feeding these storms is actually coming from the Pacific and that warmer than normal water. As you can see, all right, nothing crazy there. So anyway, you can see the storm taking shape. This is Saturday night at 7. I definitely see it. Almost looks like it's got an eye to it. These are some pretty gusty winds too, up to 70. I mean, I think this is going to need some type of tropical storm advisory here. So here are the winds. Again, we're at wind gusts here. We're looking at wind gusts. Just using the icon model now. So here's Sunday at 1 a.m. All right. We'll move this a little more to 9 o'clock now. So this thing is going to get, you can see how the winds are really going to be strong along the coast here. Really strong winds here along the coast in Georgia and South Carolina. We move this into 1 o'clock. Sunday at 1 o'clock. You can see inland we got some winds too, wind issues. Let's move this to 6 p.m. Sunday at 6 p.m. So here's the storm at 6 p.m. And again, this is using the icon model. Look at some of these crazy winds that we're going to be getting in Eastern Carolina. This is terrifying. So here we are at 10 o'clock. See how it's kind of elongating out now. Look at these winds over the water. For us, we're not seeing any winds yet. This is Sunday night at 10 o'clock. Let's move this along to Monday. So here's Monday, 1 a.m. Still no bad winds for us. It's mainly a mid-Atlantic problem. Let's move this to 7 o'clock. And this is the storm going right over us. So here's where we're going to start having problems. Monday morning. This is where we got to watch out here. It's just showing some pretty strong wind gusts. It's going to be Monday morning that we're going to have a lot of these strong winds gusting to 62, 61. You can see the low center going off just to our west here. So there's that LLJ again on the right side. You can see again some of these really strong winds here that we're going to be dealing with. And then on the back side, we'll also have some strong winds as well. But the worst winds will be on the front side again. So, yeah, this is some pretty bad stuff here. And we're going to have to keep an eye on this because this could cause some power issues. If you look at the sustained winds, nothing too crazy on the sustained side, but the gusts, again, could be bad. And you can see where that boundary sets up there. All right? Right there. So let's look at the winds. Let's go a bit above the ground again. We're going to go to 1,000 meters because this kind of shows us where the LLJ is. Yeah, you can see where the LLJ is. So 7 a.m., you can see the LLJ. Further east you go, the worse it's going to be, just like the last one. Although, look at that. At 4 a.m., it's got a pretty strong LLJ roaring over us here. 1 a.m. So it's going to be late Sunday night into Monday morning. It seems like it's going to be the worst with the winds. All right. Oh, my God. Look at some of these winds aloft. Again, this is 1,000 meters up over 100 miles an hour over the Cape. We'll have to see if they verify or not. But these are pretty strong winds. Here we are, just 500 meters, 92 miles an hour above the Cape. Going back here, 2 a.m., you can see we're kind of spared the worst of it. Again, it looks like it goes off to the east more, but it's still early in the game, and any shift in the storm track could change things, obviously, with these winds. The other thing, of course, we'll go to is the waves. You're going to have elevated seas here. You can see, again, 11-foot waves here, 7 a.m. Yeah, some pretty strong waves here, 18 feet. Look at this. Yeah, this is getting pretty bad. Look at 10 a.m. Oh, my God. 24 feet, 25 feet? That's insane. So, yeah, this could be a really bad situation for the beaches Monday morning. Really bad. 26 feet? That's insane. That's almost approaching 30 feet waves. We're going to have to watch for some storm surges if this comes at the time of high tide, 21 feet. This is really concerning. Obviously, this is just a model, but these waves are some of the highest I've ever seen in a model. Now, there are the models we only have the Icon model to choose from here on this particular site. But these are pretty significant waves here. The storm gets worse, like I said. If we go back it up to Sunday here at 7 in the morning, you'll see the waves aren't as bad. It gets worse as it moves north because it's getting more energy. As it's merging with those other storms, it's going to intensify. So it's going to sort of be like a superstorm. Sort of like that's the same thing Sandy did. The track's not the same, but the principle is. So very concerning. And, of course, there's the precipitation aspect of it, too, the rain. And, like I said, we only have go to tropical tidbits here. We only have, and I will, you can see how bad the site is. It's just not loading. So I can't use everything that I can with it. But yeah, this is pretty scary stuff. Trust me, I prefer to use it. Here's your precipitation chart, 3-hour precipitation with this here, with the storm. So it's going to bring in a lot of rain also. We back it up here. It's going to bring a lot of rain also to Florida and stuff. You can see a lot of rain there too, but as it moves its way toward us, you can see the rain is going to get closer to us. So here we are at 1 in the morning. You can see heavier rain. Could be thunderstorms as well. Heavy rain over the Delmarva. See, this is in 3 hours. All right, 3-hour rainfall we have this set to. All right, so you can see here. So in 3 hours, you could get over an inch of rain. And then you look at this. This is the 3-hour rainfall. Again, it's a lot of rain. Now, if I move this up to, all right, this only gives us 3 hours. But you can see here, that's pretty intense. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move this down over here. Move this off. So yeah, this storm looks pretty bad. Not going to lie. Yeah, see how bad the site is? It's like it's not even loading. I can't even. They better fix that problem at Tropical Tidbits that they have. So let's look at windy.com while we're still waiting for Tropical Tidbits. All right, here we go. So you can see here, there's your storm. And again, some very, very heavy rain there. Look at that, where that yellow is. We're concerned about that as well as flooding. So this is going to be like the last storm. Maybe a little worse, perhaps. Like I said, as we get closer to it, we'll have a better idea. Right now, it's still out of range of a lot of the short-range models. Because of the site being slow, it's also making things difficult for me as well. Let's use the windy.com site as well to look at this storm here and what's going to happen. So these are the sustained winds here. We're going to have to move this over to wind gusts. The sustained winds over the water will be 40 to 50 miles an hour. Wind gusts, this is where it gets a little scary. 5 a.m., 64 miles an hour. So, yeah, these are some... And it's going to be very warm, too, of course. You can see the temperatures. It's going to be a very strong LLJ. And it shifts offshore. But, yeah, so it really kicks in late Sunday night in the overnight hours with this. And you can see the kind of winds that we're going to be dealing with here. 66 miles an hour. That's crazy. These are some wind gusts, again, on Monday, 10 a.m. So this storm is very substantial. And again, just another impressive storm to look at. Let's go to, I'm going to try to winds here. Let's go to wind on this. See how slight this site is so slow. So let's shift it over to the waves now, because this was also looking very impressive as well. So 19 feet it's showing here. 19 feet at 9 a.m. Monday. As you go further out east, though, it could be 20 footers. That's really impressive. That's really, really impressive. Here we go, Monday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, if you go further out to sea, you're dealing with 30 footers, maybe even 40 footers out there. I mean, this is crazy. In the heart of the storm, yeah, it's nuts. It's just going to get energy. It's just absolutely nuts. But it's all being fueled by that El Nino, that warmer ocean water, that I showed you before. So here we are at the GFS wind speed, and you can see here, yeah, that's pretty bad. But it looks like the worst of it will be over the east end. And again, it's going to be an overnight into Monday morning event. I'm going to go to 850. Yeah, this is not good. All right, so yeah, this is a bad situation. Bad situation. All right, so here we go. This is the 850 wind. So this kind of shows you where the winds are aloft. And you can see that purple area there. When that moves overhead, that's when we have to watch out. And again, it's going to be overnight and the Monday morning. Expect a lot of problems on the trains. Again, let's go and move this over to the NAM. I think I can do wind gusts on the NAM. Yeah. It only goes up to Sunday at 10. Yeah, that's why I can only use the longer range models right now. We have the Icon as well, which we looked at. We have the GFS with wind gusts as well, which we can look at as well. See, and again, the worst of it hits in that overnight period right there. And there's your LLJ right here. So, 66 mile an hour wind gusts. This is at the surface here. So these could be very damaging winds and potential for a lot of power outages. Again, we're going to have to watch this. A very, very deep storm indeed. So we'll talk more about this tomorrow night and Monday. Sunday, definitely Sunday. The worst of it's going to hit later, so I think you'll be okay during the day for the most part Sunday. I'm going to put this back to the European, and we're just going to go to visibility, which I just want to go back to here. So we're going to have to watch to see when this rain moves in. The European wants to move the rain in a lot sooner. I'm using visibility to kind of show you. Only the European shows us visibility. So, but if we go to precipitation here, you'll see it's moving the rain in already Sunday. So the European's a little bit faster with it. I'll have to see if this material could just be drizzle. But Sunday itself won't be that bad. It might be a little wet, but the storminess part of it, this is the storminess part of it right here. And again, you can see. Look at all that lightning being lit up. So this is precipitation here. It shows you the rain and where the heaviest rain is going to occur. And really, the heavier rain might go to the left of the Hudson. It might go in New Jersey. But this is one hell of a powerhouse storm that we're going to have to watch out for. And as we have more models to look at, we'll have more information on exactly how bad it's going to be. But it looks like it could be a whopper. So I think that's going to wrap up this Long Island weather update. Have a good weekend. And, yeah, I'll be having another video for tomorrow night, of course, about this storm. It's definitely something I'm not looking forward to, that's for sure.